The Queen of Boxing. The autobiographies of accomplished sportspersons are replete with the challenges they faced in their single-minded pursuit towards their goal. Such a book is sure to make an interesting as well as an inspirational read. Now, read an excerpt from MC Mary Com's autobiography, Unbreakable. Soon after the Bangkok Championship, I was selected in the 48 kilograms category for the International Boxing Association, originally the Association Internationale de Boxe Amateur, or the ABA, World Women's Boxing Championships in Pennsylvania, USA, in November-December 2001. My father managed to collect only 2,000 rupees for my trip. I was both upset and very worried because I'd heard of how expensive things were in America. But there was nothing my parents or I could do. I spoke to Onla, one of my friends, about my problem. He invited a few students and elders, who went to meet the two members of parliament and seek their help. Two MPs donated 5,000 rupees and 3,000 rupees respectively, and I suddenly had 10,000 rupees in my hands. With this princely sum, and a little more that had been collected from people, I left for the US. I was relieved to have money in my pocket, and knew that I could not come back empty-handed after all the efforts that people had made on my behalf. Pennsylvania was cold and beautiful. It was snowing. We were confined to the sports arena, but what little I saw was pleasing to the eye. The people were enormously nice too. It was the first time in my life that I had traveled so far. I was looking forward to seeing what America was all about. But since we were the last team to arrive, we went straight to the sporting arena from the airport. The other teams had already completed their wait-in, which is compulsory for all players. I was tired and suffering from jet lag. It had been morning when I left, and here it was morning again. After weighing in, I found out that I did not have any match that day. I was fortunate, but some of the teammates were not so lucky. I was able to rest well enough to face my opponent in the round, which I won comfortably. My fear of facing new opponents quickly vanished. I competed in the 48 kilograms in this championship. While teammates lost one after the other, I went on to reach the finals. I was even hopeful of winning the gold. The boxers were not unbeatable as I had earlier thought. I felt like this would be the place, the event that would change my life. I kept telling myself, I can face anyone in the ring. In the quarterfinal, I defeated Nadia Hokmi of Poland by RSC. Referee stopped contest applicable if the referee feels one of the boxers is inferior to the other and risks getting hurt badly, and in the semi-final, I defeated Jamie Bahal of Canada by 21-9. I reached the finals, but lost to Hulusi Sahan of Turkey by 13-5. The greatest disadvantage for me was my loss of appetite. I was not accustomed to the food there. Try as I might, I could not eat the food and I started to lose weight. So much so that just before the finals I was only 46 kilograms. This is probably what cost me my dream of winning gold, and I was very disappointed. I went to my room and cried. But the coaches were kind, they consoled me and lauded me on the silver win. I was the only one in the team to get a medal. But the biggest thing I took away from this championship was the conviction that I could take on any boxer. In the course of my career, I have become used to travel and to the different ways that things work in other countries. One time, in China, we were given chopsticks to eat our meals with. Just when I had painfully begun to master the art of using a knife and fork, I had to use 2 sticks to fill my stomach. I ended up using both my hands to hold the chopstick to pick up the food and push it into my mouth. My teammates asked for spoons, but I tried to manage with the sticks. It helped that I really enjoy Chinese food. I was hungry enough that I managed the complex work required. I ate enough to sate my appetite and my palate. After 5 years of traveling, I started taking along some packed food from home. On my return, Delhi gave me a warm welcome at the airport. Back in Imphal, I was greeted with garlands and drumbeats and dancing. There was a victory ride across town, a felicitation program was held in Lingol, an area that houses the government quarters. Thanksgiving prayers were said and words of praise and adulation were showered on me. I was presented with a traditional shawl. Oja Ibomcha was also present and was duly felicitated. When I spoke to the people in Lingol that day, I spoke of my hope that I would win gold in future tournaments. That first international medal, a silver, will always mean a lot to me. The fight and all that followed are clearly etched in my memory. But deep inside, I was not happy with the silver. As I touched down in India, I vowed that the next time I would bring back a gold. I knew I was good enough. The silver in Pennsylvania and the prize money from the government had put an end to my immediate financial worries. But I wanted a job too, for that alone can bring long-term security and a steady income. Also, around the time that I was getting married, I had no savings except a couple of life insurance policies. After my second World Championship gold, the Manipur government offered me the post of sub-inspector, which I accepted in 2005. I had long dreamt of getting a government job through the sports quota, and it was finally fulfilled. I earned a salary of 15,000 rupees in that first job. The thing about jobs that are obtained through the sports quota is that we are not required to go into work as regularly as our colleagues because we tend to be away at camps and tournaments through much of the year. I go to office when necessary. And every time I need to go out of station, I am required to take leave and inform the department. My medal haul continued after my marriage, putting an end to speculation among my family and friends around that particular topic. I retained the world title in the third World Women's Boxing Championships at Podolsk in Russia in 2005. Sarita, who had won the bronze, and I were given a hero's welcome at the Imphal airport. We were taken to the Bhagyachandra Open Air Theatre, where a grand reception was organized. I'd had a good run from 2001 to 2004. I won several golds, all the senior women's boxing championships. The second Women's Boxing Championships 2002, the second Asian Women's Boxing Championships at Hisar in 2003, and the Witch Cup Boxing Championships at Pace, Hungary. In spite of this, when I got married, everybody was doubtful that my medal hauls would continue. But after the wedding, I participated in and won a gold in the third and fourth World Women's Boxing Championships in October 2005 and November 2006. There were a number of other international level championships in Taiwan, Vietnam, Denmark, and so on. But it was retaining my world title in 2006 by defeating Steluta Duta of Romania 22-7 at the 4th World Championships in New Delhi that I consider one of my greatest achievements. It is probably the most memorable for me because I was able to win at home. The other Indian boxers also performed exceptionally well. India won 4 golds, 1 silver and 3 bronzes, and our team won the overall title. With this hat-trick of World Championship wins, the media christened me Queen of Boxing and Magnificent Mary.